I was excited by the fact that Black Flag was going to put out this Charlie Manson album. And then I hear they aren't going to do it. So I'd been meaning to contact this guy for years, and I hadn't because I really didn't have anything concrete to say to him. I didn't want to waste his time. So finally I write to him and said, listen, I'm kind of in the music business. If you want to get this album released, I could get it released in a heartbeat by any number of people I know. So he kind of wrote me back and said, okay, yeah, let's talk about this. There's this huge podium with all these cops with guns watching everything everybody does. So I go sit in this area. I'm the only person in there. After what seems like 20 minutes, the door swings open and Charlie Manson comes out. And he's this very small elfin character. And he's looking around going, where am I? Where am I? And he sees me. They're undoing the handcuffs from behind him. And he comes over and he said, you must be Rice, huh? I said, yeah, good to meet you. I sat down and he said, you're probably a little nervous, aren't you? You know, and I said, no, I'm not nervous at all. You know, I've been reading about you for years and it's great to finally meet you. And he said, okay, well, before we get started here, there's one thing you and me got to get straight. There's only one person at this table. I'm sitting here looking at you, and you're sitting there looking at me. But there's only one person, one soul, one mind at this table now. And I'm just thinking, this is just fucking great. It's like, I meet Charlie Manson, 2 minutes ago, and he's already giving me the I am you and you are me routine. So it started off in the best possible way imaginable. At the time, Manson had got the scar on his forehead. He'd done the X, and then he made the X into a swastika. And at about the time I met him, he got the scar turned into a tattoo. So he had this tattoo of a swastika on his forehead. And I said, I love your tattoo. And he said, yeah? Yeah, it's a good tattoo. But it's very heavy. It takes a lot of strength to carry something like this in here. I could easily see how people might have been drawn into this world of his because he was such a realist, but he had one foot in the world of fantasy where he would spin these yarns for you and you could almost imagine they were real. He would say stuff like, Rice, when I get out of here, you and me are going to steal a helicopter. We'll go visit the Ayatollah Khomeini. We'll be treated like kings in Iran. And in the realistic part of my mind, I thought, number one, Charlie's never going to get out of here. Number two, you can't fly a helicopter to Iran. But I'm driving back across the Bay Bridge after that first visit, and in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, oh boy, me and Charlie are going to fly to Iran and visit the Ayatollah Khomeini. So it's like there's this fantasy element where you wanted to believe what he was saying because it was interesting and exciting. And, I was a male adult realist. I was a skeptic. I was a cynic. And there was a part of me that wanted to believe that, even though, in the back of my mind, I never really did. But he could paint pictures where he would just look into your eyes and say, I'm looking behind you right now, Rice. I'm looking behind you and I see a hallway that stretches to eternity. There are thousands of people there hung by the neck. They're wearing Nazi uniforms. And they died. They died for the same dream that I'm living right here, right now. I can see them as far as the eye can see. And in your mind's eye, you can see all that behind you. It was fucking fabulous. Who would love this? It's like, you read about this guy all your life, you want to meet him, and it's like he delivers the goods. On every possible level, he delivers the goods.
Those graveyards are piled up from here to eternity.